Lime, and lime once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only lime. So maybe you think a lime is a lemon, and maybe you think a lemon is a lime. Maybe you think you know there is what there is to know all about limes. But today, I guarantee I can offer you something just a little different and new. So please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive into the wonderful world of the lime. First up, just a little bit of background information. There are many different types of limes, and most are actually hybrids of different types of citrus fruits, produced primarily from the citron, the pomelo, and the mandarin orange. Also, in the United States, the Persian lime is the most common variety found in the grocery stores, but other types include the key lime, the kaffir lime, and the wild lime. So there we have it, guys. Just a few tidbits, important tidbits about the one and only lime. All right, now it's time to dive into a few fun facts. The true scope of the lime's medicinal properties has only come to light in the past few centuries when it was used to treat scurvy. Scurvy is a condition caused by vitamin C deficiency, which can result in symptoms like bleeding gums, bruising, and fatigue. By the 18th century, scurvy had become a huge problem and a major cause of death for British sailors. In 1747, scientist James Lind began conducting experiments on board a naval ship and discovered that drinking lemon and lime juice could help ward off scurvy thanks to its high concentration of vitamin C. So there we have it, guys. We now know that we need to tip our hats off to Mr. James Lind. Why? Because he helped save lives. That's right, guys, by simply using the juice, not only from limes, but also from lemons to help prevent scurvy. All right, now it's time for a few not so fun facts. Although uncommon, citrus fruit allergies can cause food allergy symptoms like hives, swelling, asthma, and flushed skin. Please just take a look at the picture. If you experience any negative symptoms after eating limes, be sure to discontinue use immediately and talk to your doctor. Additionally, despite the long list of lime nutritional benefits, it's best to keep your intake in moderation. Limes contain a high amount of citric acid, meaning that overdoing it can start to erode the enamel on your teeth and cause increased sensitivity. Finally, you should not apply limes or lime juice directly to your skin. This can increase your skin's sensitivity to ultraviolet light and result in a condition called phytophotodermatitis, which can severely burn your skin. Wow, so who knew limes could have such adverse effects on our health? So please, when you're using limes, be careful. All right, guys, it's now time to dive into the 520 rule. Now, when we talk about the 520 rule, ultimately we're talking about food labels. Yes, food labels. Basically, the 520 rule helps us to understand and read food labels. Ultimately, the 520 rule, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, specifically when we talk about the 520 rule, we're really talking about the percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it's highlighted in different colors. So we have bright yellow, right? And that's highlighting a few nutrients such as total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Now, the reason why these nutrients are highlighted in yellow is because, unfortunately, they do a really good job at causing disease within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that these nutrients are on the lower end of the 520 rule scale. Then we have other nutrients that are highlighted in light blue. As you can see, we have dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, as well as iron. Now, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than cause disease, excuse me, they do promote wellness as well as health within the body temple. And then, of course, we have the percent daily value column, which is basically represented in the form of percentages. So as you can see, some percentages are very high, some percentages are very low. So if we go back to the yellow nutrients, you definitely want these nutrients to be on the lower end of the scale. Whereas the nutrients that are highlighted in blue, you definitely want those nutrients to be on the higher end of the scale. Now, what do all these percentages mean? Well, let's talk about it. If a food item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV, then that food item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food item offers 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food item is a good source of that nutrient. Lastly, if the food item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So, going back to our sample food label, when it comes to the nutrients that are highlighted in yellow, well, honestly, you want your food item not to be a good source of those types of nutrients. If, on the other hand, you're eating a food item and it has a very high amount of the nutrients that are in blue, then that's great. Why? Because once again, these nutrients, fiber, your vitamins and your minerals actually promote health and wellness within the body temple. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, so now that we're familiar with the 520 rule, we can now talk about the nutrition facts. So for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving of a lime is one lime. That's it. Now, what are we going to find in this one lime? Well, only 20 calories. That's it. 7 grams of carbohydrates, 0.5 grams of protein, only 0.1 gram of fat, 1.9 grams of dietary fiber, and vitamin C comes in at a whopping 32% DV. So based on the 520 rule, a lime is an excellent source of vitamin C. Also calcium, but it only comes in at 2% DV. So unfortunately, this single serving of lime is not a good source of calcium. Next up is iron, coming in at only 2% DV, not a good source. And lastly is potassium, coming in at only 2% DV as well. So unfortunately, a single serving of lime is not a good source of potassium. Okay, now that we understand the nutrition facts, we can now dive into the health benefits. But before we do, Coach D wants to offer you just a little bit of information first. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to talk about the principle of cause and effect. It's known as one of the 7 Hermetic principles, and it basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. That being said, here's what you need to understand, is that when it comes to the nutrition facts, well, those are the causes. The health benefits are the effects. So, what happens when you eat a lime? Well, number 1, it improves the health of your heart. Also, it helps to fight against cancer. Now, you know Coach D, and you know how much I love phytochemicals, phytonutrients, right? So we got to give them a little bit of love. So let's very quickly talk about the phytochemicals that help to prevent cancer. Say hello to flavonoids, flavones, triterpenoid, as well as limonoids. So there you have it, guys. Not one, not two, not three, but four different phytochemicals that help prevent cancer. Also, limes, they enhance weight loss, they boost immunity, they also aid in kidney stone prevention. Now, once again, I gotta give a little bit of love to a different phytochemical that does that. Say hello to citric acid. And last but not least, limes help to increase iron absorption. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the health benefits of the lime. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Guys, as always, I went to our website for everything vegan, which is forksilverknives.com. By the way, there is a movie entitled Forks Over Knives, and I highly recommend that you watch it. So I went to the website, forksilverknives.com, did just a little bit of research, and look at what I found. 2 amazing vegan lime recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Thai fruit skewers with coconut and lime. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious. Our second recipe is grilled corn on the cob with Chipotle-Lime rub. Take a look at that picture. Looks amazing, yes. Now here's the really cool part, is that if you are inclined, all you have to do is go to the description box and click on the link. Yes, I am providing you with a direct link to each recipe, right? So click on the link and you're going to find a lot of great information. It's going to give you the ingredient list, it's going to give you the preparation time, as well as instructions as to how to make these recipes, right? So do me a favor, make them, taste them, come back to the video and share your experience. So once again, please check out forksilverknives.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, Coach D, thanks for the nutrition facts. Coach D, thanks for the not so fun facts, right? But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more limes? Well, guys, if that's your question, then the perfect day, and I do mean the perfect day, to eat more limes is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Yes, Nature Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, perhaps you know nothing about the challenge. In a nutshell, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and by the way, it also helps us save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge. It's that it's monthly and it's 7 days. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month. The first all the way through the 7th. Now, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the challenge. So what that really means is that Nature Day is always the first day of every month. So whether it's April 1st, June 1st, or how about October 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now, perhaps you are intrigued. Perhaps you want to learn more about Nature Day. Well, if that's you, let me share this with you. Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, yes, there are lots of things you can do to get closer to nature, right? You can go take a nature walk. You can go dive and swim in a lake, a pond, or the ocean. But for the sake of the 23% challenge, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature through food. That's right, guys. It's time to eat what nature provides, right? So, maybe you're the type of person who is looking to lose a little bit of weight. Maybe you are the type of person who has cancer. Maybe you're the type of person who has diabetes. Maybe you have heart disease. Maybe you are obese and you're looking for an avenue that's not only going to help make you healthy, but it's going to actually help cure your disease. Well, Nature Day, ladies and gentlemen, is all about plant foods. That's right, guys. It's time to put the good stuff in and take the bad stuff out. Now, if you're interested in maybe transitioning to a more whole food plant-based diet, or maybe you're just interested in eating more plants, well, I've come up with 3 ways that I believe can help you out. Number 1, say hello to becoming a 3% vegan. Now, what in the world is that? Well, it's anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods only one day out of an entire month. And of course, you only drink water. Next up is a 13% vegan. Now, what that translates to is that anyone, man, woman, or child, only eating plant foods and only drinking water only 4 days out of an entire month. Now, that could be the first 4 days of the month, or you could pick one day per week, right? Lastly is a 23% vegan. Now, a 23% vegan is what Coach D technically considers himself to be, right? So what does that mean? It means that I only eat plant foods and drink only water for the first 7 days of every single month. That's right, guys. The first through the 7th, I only eat foods that come from the 5 food groups of plant foods. So what are they? They're very easy. Number 1, fruits. Number 2, vegetables and herbs. Number 3, legumes, meaning beans and peas. Number 4, nuts and seeds. And number 5, whole grains. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We now know the ins and outs about Nature Day. All right. Now, excuse me, because I want your Nature Day to be successful, I want to offer you 4 tips that I think can really help you out. Number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you only are going to go to 2 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Why? Because that's where all of your fresh fruits, I'm sorry, well, plant foods in general are located. And number 2, to the freezer aisle. Why the freezer aisle? Because that's where the frozen plant foods are located, right? Now, some people may have questions about the nutrient content of fresh versus frozen plant foods. Well, believe it or not, the nutrient contents are comparable. Next up, go visit your local farmer's market. That's right, guys. It's time to support the wellness community. Now, farmers markets are amazing, especially if you prefer organic plant foods. Now, there are some advantages to shopping at a farmer's market versus the local grocery store. Number 1, farmers markets only cater to organic farmers. That's right. So chances are the food that you get from there, the produce that you purchase from there is going to be organic, meaning it contains fewer chemicals, fewer pesticides, fewer herbicides. Also, because the food is grown locally, that's actually going to save the farmer a little bit of money. And so that savings is then passed on to you. Next up, go check out the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. Now, depending on the store, they may term it the kitchen, right? Well, whatever it's called, the kitchen or the prepared dishes section, please walk on over there after you finish visiting the produce section in the freezer aisle and talk to the person behind the counter. Ask them if they have any vegan, non-vegetarian options. If they do, ask for a quick sample, free of course, and then hopefully you like it. And if you do, buy it by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds. And my last tip to help make your Nature Day successful is to go visit and eat at a vegan restaurant. That's right, guys. Once again, we have to support the wellness community, right? So, do yourself a favor. Do a quick Google search to locate vegan restaurants near you. And providing you like them, go visit them, right? And when you get there, do two things. Number one, let them know Coach D sent you. And number two, be sure to order something with limes in it. So there we have it, guys. 4 tips to make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We have inquiring minds. So here's the question. It's actually a fill in the blank question. In the United States, the blank lime is the most common variety found in grocery stores. Now, I believe I covered this earlier in the video, so if you didn't catch it, rewind, come back to the question, answer the question. As a matter of fact, type your response in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching, and I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love limes. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.